Welcome back. All right, so I want to talk about a story that's been going around for the last couple of weeks. This is, and I wanted to wait until we actually got to a point where it looks like bankruptcy is going to be what happens. So, Diamond Sports Group is set to declare bankruptcy. This is a group that represents Bally Sports, which has 40 different regional broadcast agreements with teams in the NBA, in the NHL, as well as in Major League Baseball. So, the concern has been a simple one. If they go bankrupt and if they're restructuring, then what? There's discussions of, these are your local TV rights deals. What's going to happen to that money? What will this do to the NHL's income and obviously to other leagues as well, right? It would appear, at least for now, that there's no danger of those channels going offline. Obviously, even up here, NHL Center Ice, a lot of the broadcasts I watch are through Bally Sports. And it doesn't seem like things are going off the rails to that point yet where they're going to be off, but it can just happen, right? You can be in a situation where one day there's a channel and it exists and it's there, and the next day it's just gone. Now, usually it's sold to somebody else, but the thing is, these were networks that were bought not that long ago, right? Owner Sinclair, who owns Diamond Sports Group, which represents Bally's, and it's basically one of those things that's how corporations work. So Sinclair bought the regional sports networks for $9.6 billion in 2019, and anybody looking at that amount of money would say, "Wow, that's going to be hard to get back," right? Even with advertising, even though there's 40 teams, you just do the division, you do the math on that. It's hard to get that money back. So they've had a hard time with not only, figuring out the finances, but just being able to pay off the interest on that loan. And so they are going to be unable to pay that at this point, and so they're going to declare bankruptcy, which last week when the NHL talked about this, Bill Daly said, well, they may not go bankrupt. And I remember reading that and thinking, not sure what Bill's been reading, but yeah, they're hitting bankruptcy. That was really obvious really early. So Sinclair, which has its own financial difficulties on top of this, and I don't know what this is going to do to the product. This is why I've been waiting until now. Odds are things won't be affected this season. They might be affected going into next season. It does mean that the next time that the regional rights are up, that there'll be fewer bidding wars amongst various companies. I know Tampa Bay, there was concerns about their income and how much this is going to affect theirs. Tampa Bay is the one that seems to come up the most. I think it's because they get the most coverage from this. I'm not sure how much money it generates, but at any rate, Sinclair wasn't seeing the writing on the wall. The writing on the wall is simple. Cable TV is on the decline. I know it's the generation after mine that has really been quick to cut the ties with cable. Cable customers in the US are down 26% since 2019, and they're down 38% from 2014, which means when they bought it in 2019, we were already seeing declining cable numbers. And there's no reason to think that these numbers won't continue to decline. So again, they bought too high. This is one of those things where you buy something and there's probably buyer's remorse pretty quickly because it's not worth that. And it's something that I've always wondered about with business, where they'll buy something and just as a layman, just looking, you can go, it's not worth that, is it? And then they go bankrupt and you go, yeah, it's not worth it. Now, Major League Baseball is apparently ready for whatever. They've got the plans so that in the event that Bally's goes dark, that they will have the means to go digital and go to another cable setup so that your viewing of those teams won't be affected. The NHL apparently has some sort of a plan, but they consider it to be worst case scenario. And they seem to be planning as if, it's only a couple more months that they'd have to worry about the Bally's agreement. And then you could just worry about it going into next season. But yeah, it appears that the NHL doesn't think that this is going to affect them this season, that it would affect them next season. And again, this will affect league revenues. This will affect revenues for the NBA, the NHL, and Major League Baseball because it's less money coming in from your broadcast partners. Obviously, it doesn't affect the national broadcasting deals, but we'll see what happens with this because there's always the possibility that while they're going through liquidating and refocusing and restructuring, however they want to put it, that they find a way to make these networks work. But I just have my doubts. I mean, like I remember when it was Fox Sports regionals, right? And then it became Bally's, and just that amount of money. And the funny thing is, I actually kind of preferred the Fox Sports ones. The Fox Sports regionals were pretty good networks. I can't see Fox coming in and offering anywhere near that amount of money to get those regional networks back if they'd even have an interest. Again, cable is down. This maybe it'll end up on another streaming service. Maybe another streaming service ends up picking it up, but that would definitely change the picture quite a bit. So let me know your thoughts. What's your prediction with this? How do you think this ends up turning out? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.